Hello again and welcome back to another edition of Books and Cooks. Today I searched through the books that I happen to have here at my home and I had 3 books about fish. The rainbow fish, which I know many of you have already heard, and it really brought back memories when I opened it because it has my son TJ's name in it and it has all these really beautiful scaly shimmery fish. So I thought, I could read that. And then another book is called Big Al. It's about another kind of fish. Both of these books have themes about friendship. And then I found this book, and this is one that I think I remember my 2nd graders reading with me, called The Magic Fish. And I thought, well, maybe this is one that many of you might not have heard. So I'm going to choose this book. But you could go online and you could go to any website out there. There's just millions of fish books. Red fish, blue fish, 1 fish, 2 fish, all those wonderful fish books. But let me read you this book about the magic fish. This time I am not going to tell you what it's about, but I want you to make a prediction. Look at the cover. Why do you think this book is called The Magic Fish? What do you think it might be about? Think about that. I see a fisherman and a fish on his fishing pole. So my prediction is, obviously this fisherman catches a fish and he must be some kind of magic fish, but I wonder what the magic is that he does. Let's find out. This is by Freya Littledale. Oh my goodness, I have to show you something. I love when authors do this. This net, this fisherman's net, is the O of the first word. The first word is O-N-C-E, once. It starts like once upon a time, that kind, like fairy tales. I love when people do that when they're writing. And it starts just like that. Once upon a time, there was a poor fisherman. He lived with his wife in an old hut by the sea. There she is. Even the pictures are grayish to show us, and it gets that feeling that they're kind of poor. Every day he went fishing, and one day the fisherman felt something on the end of his line. He pulled, and up came a big fish. "Put me back in the water," said the fish. "I am a magic fish. I am really a prince." "Well," said the man, "if you are a prince, I will put you back in the water." And he did. That night, the wife asked him, "Why didn't you catch any fish today?" "I did catch a fish," said the man, "but he was a magic fish. He said he was really a prince, so I let him go." "Silly man," said his wife. "Why didn't you make a wish? Go back and get that fish. Tell him I wish for a prettier house." "Why?" asked the man. "You never mind why," said his wife. "You just go back and tell that fish I want a pretty house." "I don't want to go," said the man. "Go," said the wife. So the fisherman went back to the sea. What kind of words could you use to describe the kind of character she is? Bossy, maybe? That's what I'm thinking. The fisherman called, "Oh, fish in the sea, come listen to me. My wife begs a wish from the magic fish." "What does she want?" asked the fish. "Oh, she wants a pretty house," said the man. "Go home," the fish said. "Now your wife has a pretty house." That is magic. He granted her a house. So the man went home, and the old hut was gone, and now they had a pretty house. So this magic fish grants wishes. "This is very nice," the fisherman said to his wife. "We will be very happy here." "We shall see," said his wife. The fisherman was happy, and his wife was happy too. She was happy for 1 week. What do you think she's doing next? Then she said to the man, you go back and you call that fish and you tell him that I want an even prettier house. I want to live in a castle. Why? Asked the man. Oh, you never mind why. You just go back and tell that fish that I want a castle. Oh, but I don't want to go. Go, said the wife. So the man went back to the sea. Oh, she is bossy. And the old man called. Can you remember what he called? Do it with me. Oh, fish in the sea, come listen to me. My wife begs a wish from the magic fish. Well, asked the fish, what does she want now? Oh, she wants a castle, said the man. Oh, go home, the fish said. Now your wife has a castle. He actually granted her that wish. Oh my goodness. So the man went home and the pretty house was gone. And now there was a castle. This is a beautiful castle, said the fisherman to his wife. Oh, we will be so happy here. We shall see, said his wife. And the fisherman was happy, and his wife was happy too. She was happy for 2 weeks. Only 2 weeks. Oh, she's changing. Look at her. Then she said to the fisherman, you go back to that fish and you tell him I want more than a castle. I want to be queen of the land. Why? Asked the fisherman. Oh, you never mind why, said the woman. You just go back to that fish and you tell him I want to be queen of the land. Oh, I don't want to go, said the fisherman. Go, said the wife. And so the man went back to the sea. I don't know if I would have listened to her. He must want to just make her happy. And the man called, ready? Oh, fish in the sea, come listen to me. My wife begs a wish from the magic fish. Look at the fish's face. Well, said the fish, what does she want this time? Well, she wants to be queen of the land, said the man. All right, go home, said the fish. Now your wife will be queen of the land. That is the 3rd wish she was granted. I know a lot of other stories that have 3 wishes in them. So the fisherman went home, and his wife was in the castle, and she was sitting on a throne made of gold. That's that big fancy chair that a king or a queen would sit in. And she wore a dress made of gold and a crown made of gold. Can you see that? So, said the man, now you are queen of the land. Oh, that is a fine thing to be. At last we can finally just be happy. We shall see, said the wife. And the fisherman was happy, and his wife was happy too. How many weeks? She was happy for 3 weeks. What do you think she wants next? So the man went back to the sea. Oops, sorry. Then she said to the fisherman, you go back to that fish and you tell him I want to be more than queen of the land. Tell him I want to be queen of the sun and the moon and the stars. But why? Said the fisherman. What did she say? Never mind why, she said. You just got to go back and tell him that I want to be queen of the sun and the moon and the stars. But I don't want to go, said the man. The fish is going to be so angry. Go, said the wife. Do you think the fish is going to be angry? 4th wish? Boy, she is never happy. Sticky pages. So the man went back to the sea and he called, ready? Oh, fish in the sea, come listen to me. My wife begs a wish from the magic fish. What is it? Said the fish. Oh, she wants to be queen of the sun and the moon and the stars, said the fisherman. No, said the fish. She wants too much. She cannot be queen of the sun. She cannot be queen of the moon. And she cannot be queen of the stars. Now, she gets nothing. She's going to go back to the old hut that she had. So the fisherman went home. The castle was gone. The old hut was back. And his wife was inside. And there they lived to this very day. The end. Now that's like a folk tale, kind of like that one Stone Soup. So let's think, there's got to be a lesson or a theme here. Why did the author write this? What was he trying to teach us? Well, that woman was very, very bossy and very, very, I'm thinking of a word that starts with a gr. You got it? Greedy. She just wanted too much. So maybe the lesson is, be happy with what you have. Stop asking for more and more and more. You could even go back in the book and find all the places where she asked for more and more and more, and you could prove that she was greedy. Well, that's a very interesting book. All right, so now I'm thinking, what am I going to cook from this book? Obviously, fish is the first thing I thought of, and I can make tons and tons of different fish recipes. And then I thought, what kind of fish do kids like though? Not much. But then I thought, wait, goldfish. Goldfish, right? You like those goldfish crackers. So I said, oh, I can think of recipes to go with goldfish crackers. There's even a recipe online if you want to make your own goldfish crackers. I didn't do that today. And then I wanted to combine the rainbow fish book, and I thought, oh, they have rainbow goldfish crackers. Okay, so I went online and I started looking up rainbow goldfish cracker recipes, and you'll never believe it. I found this one that had to do with eggs, and it kind of made like a quiche. I'm going to show it to you. And it only had like 5 ingredients. Look, this is actually a quiche made out of eggs, cheese, like shredded cheddar cheese, rainbow fish crackers, and some broccoli, and a little bit of salt. I tried it. I baked it. I tasted it. Not my favorite. I even tried it like in a mini cup, and I put a little cupcake liner. Wasn't one of my favorites. So I decided, well, I'm not going to make that with you today. So then I thought, fish. Tuna fish. I'm going to share one of my favorite tuna fish recipes with you that you can make for lunch. Are you ready? All right, meet me back in my kitchen. Okay, so again, for me, epic fail. If you want this recipe, maybe I can add it to the end of this video. You can try it, maybe you would like it, but I'm not going to go with that. We will still use the rainbow fish to decorate the top of this salad. All right, so I'm going to make a macaroni tuna salad or a pasta tuna salad. Again, you can use any pasta. So start with 1 pound. This would be the rotini. I chose not to use that. I went and used shells instead. What you're going to do is put these in a pot of boiling water with a good heaping tablespoon of salt, because you always want to cook pasta in salted water because you want the water to taste kind of like the ocean. It gives the pasta an added flavor before you even start the cooking, all right? So I boiled this on the stove, I strained it, all the water out, and then I let it cool. You do not make pasta salad with hot pasta. You make it with cool or cold pasta. So I stuck it in the refrigerator this afternoon, and now we're going to use it. So it's cooled, it's cooked, and now we're going to add our ingredients. All right, the magic fish. So let's start with a fish. Well, I just took a can of tuna fish. A tuna is a fish. If you don't know what it looks like, look it up online. So this can of tuna fish is part of a real fish called a tuna. When I took the can and opened it up, I then drained the water out. It comes in oil or in water. I usually choose the one in water because I like to season it myself. It came out in chunks, and then I put it right here in a bowl, and I took my fork and I just kind of mashed it up because I really want it not to be big chunks. I want it to be more separated, okay? You can choose to use 1 can of tuna or 2 cans of tuna for a pound of pasta. Depends on how much tuna you want. More tuna or more pasta? I like more pasta, okay? So in with the 1 pound of cooked pasta that was in the boiling salted water, I'm adding just a can of tuna that has been strained and put together, all right? The next thing, all tuna salads have some sort of mayonnaise. Any brand you like, any kind you like, all right? So I have Hellmann's Light Mayonnaise. That's the kind we like. Here we go with, I don't have real measurements, okay? I just do it the way I like it. So, I don't know, 1/4 cup you might want to start with. I'm just going to start spooning in a big glob, all right? I can always add more if it's too dry. So, don't add too much at the beginning. You can't take it out, but you can always add it in. That might be a 1/4 cup or a 1/2 cup. The other thing I like to add is some olive oil. And I just like to sprinkle, I don't know, a couple tablespoons over the top. It keeps the pasta from sticking and it adds another nice layer of flavor. So we've got the cold pasta, the 1 can of tuna, probably a 1/4 to a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, and 2-3 tablespoons of olive oil. Now, from here, you add your spices, your salt, your pepper, your garlic powder, whatever you have. So what I will suggest is starting, since I just go like this with everything, taste it, and then add more or less. If you've never done this before, maybe start with a teaspoon of each to begin with, because you can always add more. So maybe start with a teaspoon of salt. And then I had some garlic pepper seasoning. Sounds good. So I'll go with a teaspoon of that, okay? And then I looked and I had some Himalayan pink rock salt with garlic. All right, I'll just breathing it in. Do a few turns of that. Always put pepper in. And I have this grater, it just grates pepper in. Pepper's a little spicy, so just grate however much you want. If you have it in a container, maybe 1/2 teaspoon to start. If you're someone who doesn't like super spicy, don't add the pepper, okay? And then I have some parsley. Now, I normally have fresh parsley and basil growing out on my patio, but we haven't started it yet, so I'm going to use the dried parsley. The thing about using dried parsley is when you take it out, I'm gonna go with like a good tablespoon of it, okay? If you just sprinkle it in now, it doesn't have much flavor because it's been sitting in the jar. So you want to take your hands, remember, wash your hands ahead of time before you cook, always. And you will go like this. Rub it between your hands, and now you're actually breaking it up and you're getting all the flavor to waken up from the parsley. I could do the same thing for basil. It's just another spice, or herb, I should say. If you don't like it, don't use it. Another one, I do about a tablespoon, and I'm waking up the flavors, okay? And if I were to smell my hands, I could smell the parsley and I could smell the basil. I like fresh better, but I don't have it, so I will always go with the dried. All right, then you know Mrs. Gagliardi's a cheese lover. You don't like cheese, skip this part, all right? I'm going to add in maybe a good tablespoon of the cheese. Here we go. And you could stop right there and start mixing, okay? So let's start mixing this up. Now, you can make your pasta salad as wet or as dry as you like it, all right? I don't want too much mayonnaise. I like mayonnaise, but I don't want to be squishing on it in my mouth, okay? And I'm gonna mix it up. And it looks okay. It's looking good to me. It doesn't really I don't really think I want to add even more mayonnaise right now, because I'll tell you what, this salad is better when it sits overnight and all the flavors kind of meld together. So maybe when I go to eat it tomorrow is when I might want to add a little more mayonnaise or olive oil, okay? We'll see. All right, now, it doesn't look pretty enough to me. Now, all you kids are gonna go, oh no, what are you going to do now? I like to take spring mix, okay? And just take a handful on my cutting board and I just chop it like really, really fine. Almost like, I don't know, just like pieces of, it could be like pieces of parsley or basil. And I'm actually going to sprinkle that in, because the minute I do this, and maybe I will add just a little more of this, just to make the, because I want to make the salad kind of wilt, all right? Look what happens by adding that. Doesn't it already just look better? I could even add more. I could add more lettuce. I promise you won't taste the lettuce if you're like, I don't like lettuce. All the flavors of the tuna and the pasta and the spices and the mayonnaise and olive oil, that will take over the flavor. But boy, doesn't that look much healthier now? Look at that. And that is a very simple macaroni and tuna salad. Then you go to serve it. And let's see. You could serve it in this kind of a bowl if you want. Oh, I should take a bigger scoop than that. You want to serve it in something pretty usually, because you always eat with your eyes, right? Okay, now, before I serve it, I usually will taste it. Why don't I have my fork here? Oh, I'll have to use my spoon. I'll usually taste it just to see if it has enough of the spices, all right? It's perfect. I'm just a good cook. It has plenty of flavor. I might not even have put maybe less salt next time. Go with a half a teaspoon of salt. But it's actually fine, okay? There is a trick though. If you make a mistake and there's too many spices, you could actually take some of it in a colander and you could rinse water over it and then put it back in and remix it, and then it'll take out the flavor, because it's a tiny bit salty for me. So maybe you should go with a little less spices. Start with half a teaspoon of everything and then you eat it. Now, because if I had read the Rainbow Fish book, I would have said, oh, but I really want goldfish crackers with it. So on top of this, you could sprinkle some goldfish crackers, because then you get a crunch and a salt with the tuna and the pasta. So let me go grab my goldfish crackers. So then you could take these and you could like, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Maybe Mr. Gagliardi got to these. It's empty. I really wanted to show you what it looks like when you sprinkle some rainbow goldfish crackers on top. Wait a minute. My son's a magician. He left his magic trunk in the other room. He has a magic pan that sometimes gives me ingredients that I'm missing. Let me grab it. Let me see. We did this once when we didn't have a birthday cake. He was able to use this. All right, I don't remember the magic words that he used to make the cake appear. Let's use those words from the book. Let's go like this. Oh, fish in the sea, come listen to me. My wife grants a wish from the magic fish. And then we'll put the top on, and then we'll leave the top off, and then we'll see. We'll see. Maybe that works. All right, you ready? All right. 1, 2, 3. Say it with me. Oh, fish in the sea, come listen to me. My wife begs a wish from the magic fish. And what's the wish? We wish for goldfish crackers to sprinkle on top because somebody ate them all. All right, here we go. Ready? Cadabra! Cadabra! Ah! It worked! It worked! It worked! It worked! It worked! Oh, thank you, TJ, for your magic pan. Oh, I hope he doesn't know I'm borrowing it. Here they are. That's what I wanted. Oh, gosh. All right, so then you sprinkle. Oh, now it's looking like a delicious salad with crunchy rainbow fish. Let me try it. Here we go. Ready? Tuna and pasta and spices and crunchy, crunchy rainbow fish to go with my beautiful magic fish book. Oh, that was a great trick. We may need that again someday when we're cooking. So let me go put it back before he finds out I used it. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Happy reading, happy cooking. I hope you try it. Remember, reduce the salt. Don't use as much as I did. Bye-bye.